Good morning again. So, we are going to continue with the NetBeans. So, we were practicing that, and today we'll do some practical assignments of NetBeans, how we are going to create certain forms and how we can handle them, right? So, we'll do some practical portion today. I'll show you all the things on the NetBeans software. Let me show you the questions first of all. These are the questions given in the book, right? Now, this is a simple program. Write a program in Java to implement the formula this. Area is equal to length, width, height. We'll multiply these three. Now, how will you do this in GUI forms? See, for creating such forms, we need to have one thing. First of all, we need length, width, and height from the user. So for that, we need to create three text fields where user can enter a length, width, and height, right? And then we need a button where we'll do all the calculations, where we'll write all the statements, and moreover we need a label or a text area where we can, a text field also, where we can print the result. ठीक है, तो हम लोग इसको कैसे करेंगे? So let's just use the same project. Already we have done this, so I'll create a new JFrame form from this side. Name of the form have to change. Now the we are finding area, so let's name it as area only. Now what do we need? First of all, we need a label on the top where we can write what is this about, what is this form about, and we need three labels here for writing the text, and three text fields where user will enter length, width, and height. Then we need a button on which the user will click to get the answer. And again, one label is required where answer is to be printed. Right? Now let's change the properties. I'll give the heading area calculator. You can do that formatting also, like font and all we can change. You have to go to the properties and just click on font option, or you can do it from here also. Font properties are listed here, right? So let's increase the size, make it bold, and okay, right? So this is your heading. Now here I'll write enter length, here I'll write enter breadth, and enter height. This text field must be blank, so I'll remove whatever is written over here. Similarly, the second one and third one, right? So fine. So, or what we can do is we'll take a panel and will put everything into the panel, so that's it's easily arranged, right? So now the arrangement is easy for us. Anyhow, that panel is not so important, so you can keep it outside also, there's no problem. फाइन. और बटन पे हम लिख देते हैं क्लिक, राइट. And this label we need to, it should be blank. Right now let's increase the size, and as I told you already that we'll not be able to see this label anywhere, so we must put a border so that we can make out यहाँ पे label, although it is again not so important. So it's always healthy to give a line border so that we can make out this is the output area, right? Now we'll come to the coding part. How will you manage this uh, area? How will you find out? So पहली चीज तो है कि we have to deal these three things. We have to pick the value from these three text fields. So जो भी user length, breadth और height enter करेगा, we have to pick that. Then we have to multiply them, and whatever answer comes, we have to print it here. So basically we are going to use these four controls. So इनके नाम क्या हैं? You must know. जैसे ये text field है, इसका नाम है J text field 1, right? This text field, the name is J text field 2. This is J text field 3. So or you can change the name. So right click, change variable name. I'll make it T1. Second one T2. Third one T3, and this label as L only, small l, right? That's it. Let's come to coding area. How will you go there? Just double click this button. So this is the place where we have to write the code. Now to read the value from T1, we need a variable. Let's take double type, because user may enter in decimal values also. So I'll take X for that. Double X integer dot parse int T1 dot get text. Right. So this will read the value from the first text field. Similarly, we need another variable. Let's say Y, and this will read the value from T2 text field. And similarly for T3, we'll take another variable, let's say Z, and it takes the value from T3 and convert that to the, we know that getText method will read the value from that control, these controls T1, T2, and T3, and parseInt method will convert that value into integer form, because default uh, input of default value there is always string. So we need to convert it into int. So right, so parseInt method has to be used to convert that into integer form. Right now, next is we need to what we need to do is we need to um, multiply these three values, and then we whatever answer comes we have to store it somewhere. So for again that for that we need a variable. So I'll take a variable area where I'll multiply x by y and then by z. Fine. And now we are going to print that thing in the label. The name of the label was L. So we'll use set text method to print it, inverted comma, and the name of the variable. So that's it. This will give you the answer. So whatever user enters in X in this T1, T2, and T3, that will go to this variable X, Y, and Z. And when we multiply these three values and store it in a new variable called as area, and we are now printing that area into this label L. Right? We can also add up some statements here like the area of area is, let's say, only this much. Although, right? So this will give you the answer. Now let's run the file. Okay, now this is the output. So user will enter any length with a value here. Length in the sense that it can be any number or a decimal number also, because we have taken double. So double लगाया है तो decimal values भी ले सकते हैं. Like if I put 2.5, and then next is breadth, right? So 12.5, I'll take this 8.5, and height, let's say 6.5. And then you click on this button. There is some error that for input string 15.5. If I take a number, let's see if it is accepting integers. That is okay. Okay, one more thing we should always do over here is that this declaration of the variables should be done in the beginning. Otherwise, sometimes compiler gives you some error like this, right? So what we need to do is we need to initialize everything first, declare everything first, and then यहाँ पे डबल लगाने की जरूरत नहीं, आप डबल लगा के x, y, z and area, four variables we have to declare in the beginning. Then we can simply use them directly. No need to initialize them every time. Now let's run this and see this if the decimal values are accepted or not. Okay, one more error is that we are using integer dot parseInt and the variables are double, so it should be double dot parse double. Right, so this was the error, that we are using the double data type and we are writing parseInt over here, so that was the problem. Let us run that file. Okay, now see, if I put 12.5 here, then next I put 6.5, this is 8.5. Click here, now you'll get the answer, right? Area is this. Now if in this area I want to put meter square or something like that. So how will you do that? for that for that we just will just alter this output statement. एरिया के बाद फिर से प्लस लगाओ inverted commas में, give a space and write square meters. Now let's run the file again. Now if you put 12.5 or 10.5 or whatever, we'll also get that text at the back, right? So that's how we can do this question. We can simply, so whenever such question comes, you have to think over what all type of GUI form you have to make. And the important thing is that whatever code that you write in that button, you should be clear with that code and answer. Like if this question comes in the exam, you cannot show you that GUI form. But you can do is one thing you can do is you can draw one. We can draw one GUI form like this, and then you can label them. Right, in pencil you can draw it, and then you can label them. Right, so labeling can be done that this is T1, this is T2, T3, this is T3. You can just label that. Rough kind of diagram can be drawn, and then you write down the coding part only. Right, now let's see the next one. Write a program in Java to find the result of the following expressions. Assume A is 20 and B is 30. So we have to write a code. So we have to use two. The variable names are already given. A and B can be taken. A is 20, B is 30. And we have to calculate all this one by one. Let's see what are the outputs. So let's make another form for this. I'll give the name as example. Now we don't want to get anything from the user, because यहाँ पे AB जो है वो already given है क्वेश्चन में. So हमें सिर्फ एक बटन चाहिए जिसके अंदर हम कोडिंग करेंगे, और हमें एक लेबल चाहिए जहाँ पे हमने आंसर प्रिंट करना है. So let's change this thing first of all. Change variable name into L. I'll put L1 now. So names can be same, and button, let's say okay. Right, now label, as you see I told you that border नहीं है तो label आपको पता नहीं लगा कहाँ है. Right, so it's optional to give, will not give border here. Let it be as it is. Right, now what all code we need to write? Double click the button to enter the code. Now we need two variables A and B. A has 20, B has 30. Both are integers, so I'll take int A is equal to 20 and int B is equal to 30. Right, so it's small kind of हाँ जी बेटा, any problem people finding?
सर स्क्रीन पॉज है आपकी.
ओके ओके ओके, अब ठीक है.
यस सर.
So what we have done is that हमने एक न्यू फ्रेम बनाया, न्यू फ्रेम इंसर्ट किया example डॉट जावा. वैसे ही राइट क्लिक करके न्यू जे फ्रेम फॉर्म. राइट, So we have added this, and then हमने एक बटन लगाया है ओके और एक लेबल लगाया है. लेबल का नाम रखा है L1, राइट. सो हमने क्या करना है, ए और बी दो वेरिएबल्स लेने हैं, एंड देन वी हैव टू परफॉर्म ऑल दीज कैलकुलेशंस. So we don't need anything from the user side. So A is 20 and B is 30. Two variables I have taken. And if you see A के नीचे green color की line है, वो ये indicate करती है कि A should be initialized, declared first, then we should use it. So हमें यहाँ पे A और B लिखना है, A, B, और यहाँ से आपको int हटाना है. So ये होता है declare यहाँ कर दिया, और then we initialize the value. So this is okay then. Now we have to use them. What was the first expression? A modulus B. So for that, again we need a variable. So our modulus answer is always in integers. So let's take another variable for storing that answer after finding the modulus. So I'll take x. So x is equal to a percentage b. Percentage is the modulus, right? And then we need to print that thing in the label, right? हम एक काम करते हैं, instead of this label, let's take a text area, ताकि सारा कुछ जो है एक साथ print हो सके. So I'll take a text area, and let's name this as TA. Now for printing, I'll write TA dot setText, and here we'll write a percentage b is equal to, and answer will be x semicolon, right? तो इसको भी रन करके देखते हैं. So when you click on OK, a% b is equal to 20 is the answer, right? Because 20 divided by 30, 30 zeros are 0, and then 20 will be the remainder only. तो 20 को 30 से डिवाइड करेंगे तो 20 ही रिमाइंडर आएगा, right? Moving on further, next expression was a slash is equal to b. Now this is, what do you mean by this statement, a slash is equal to b? So we'll divide a by b, and then whatever answer comes, we'll store that again to a. इसका मतलब होता है a is equal to a divided by b, right? तो a को b से डिवाइड करना है और a में ही स्टोर करना है. So we'll write a is equal to slash b, right? एक गड़बड़ कर दी है, इक्वल टू बाद में आता है, a slash is equal to b. Now we need to print this answer. So instead of set text, I'm using append \n, and a slash equal to b is equal to, and this we need to store somewhere in a variable again. So after dividing, it may come in a डेसिमल फॉर्म ऑल्सो, सो हम यहाँ पे x1 ले लेंगे और इसको हमने डिक्लेयर करना पड़ेगा डबल. We'll write x1 over here. Right, so double x1 is equal to whatever answer comes from this calculations, and that x1 we are printing here, and whatever we are writing append command instead of set text, क्योंकि set text जो है मैंने बताया था overwrite करता है. append क्या होगा कि इस लाइन के आगे प्रिंट करेगा, राइट. और ये बैकस्लैश n का मतलब है कि नेक्स्ट लाइन में प्रिंट करना है. अगर ये नहीं लगाएंगे तो एक ही लाइन में दोनों आंसर आएंगे, राइट. सो दिस विल ब्रिंग द थिंग्स टू द नेक्स्ट लाइन. Fine, let's see the output. When I click OK, see, this was the first query, second one is this, 0.0 is the answer for that, right? So we'll divide A by B. 20 divided by 30 is 0 point something, it is 0 only. And then we assign the value to A, so A becomes 0. The answer will be 0 now, right? Or one more variations we can do is that अगर हम ये चीज़ हटा दें, ऐसे ही रहने दो और यहाँ पे दोबारा ए को प्रिंट करें, तब भी आपके पास यही आंसर आएगा. Same answer is coming. Only difference is that earlier it was double type, so 0.0 was coming. Now it is integer type, it is taking at 0 only, right? तो यहाँ पे वेरिएबल नहीं भी यूज करेंगे तब भी आपका आंसर आएगा. Why this thing is happening? Because यहाँ पे इस लाइन का मतलब क्या होता है? This line is equivalent to this line. I'll write again. A is equal to A divided by B. So both these things are equal. This is the shorter way of writing the same thing which is written here. So we are already assigning a value after dividing A by B. Whatever answer comes, we are assigning it to A. So we don't need a separate variable for doing this, right? इसको हम डायरेक्टली भी ऐसे ही लिख के इसके लिए अलग से वेरिएबल ना लगाएं तब भी चल जाएगा, राइट. Next expression was A plus B star 100 divided by 10, in bracket it has to be written. It is see, I have to write A is equal to 20 again. Reason is that A की value तो change होगी थी, right? So let me change this into 20 again, क्योंकि यहाँ पे A की value जो है 0 हो गई थी because of this statement. So we have to change that back into 20. Then we have to write expression A plus B star 100, and then the answer is to be divided by 10, right? Now this calculation will give you some answer, and we need a variable to store that answer. So let's take another variable x1, fine, and it should be double type, because after division the answer may come in decimal form, so we need this thing. So again I'm using append so that कि जो भी previous result है उसके आगे चीजें print हो जाए. So here we'll write so this value is equal to the value of x1, fine. Let's run the file to see the answer. Now if you click on OK, so the answer is 302.0, right? Right, so it was b multiplied by 100. So b was 30. 30 multiplied by 100 is 3000. So we'll add a into it. So 3020. When you 3000 divide 3020 by 10, we'll get 302. Right, so this is how it is calculating. पहले ये multiply हुआ, पहले हमें ये ब्रैकेट सॉल्व करना है, और ब्रैकेट के अंदर दो चीजें हैं, वन इज प्लस, वन इज मल्टीप्लाई. सो वी नो दैट मल्टीप्लीकेशन इज टू बी डन फर्स्ट. So we'll multiply b and 100. So b was 20, b was 30. So 30 into 100 is 3000. Then we'll add that into a. So a was 20. So 3000 plus 20 is 3020. उसके बाद हम डिवाइड करेंगे. फाइन. Next we have expression is a and b. For this, a variable is required to store the value. Let's take x2 now. Okay, so since booleans are represented in integer form, we have to split this into declaration, and let's do one thing. Instead of this, we'll put if statement. See, this expression is given an error. The reason is that and operator is used with two expressions. Now, b and a, both of them are variables. They are not expressions. If we have written like if we put b greater than 0 and a less than 20, then it is okay, right? Because now we have given two different expressions over here. So and का मतलब होता है ये दोनों expressions two होने पे ये run करो, otherwise it should not run, right? So in this case, so what we can do is we can simply write if b is greater than 0 and a is less than 20, if both the conditions are true, or what we can do is we can put b is equal to 30 and a is equal to